Our task at the moment is to use dimensional analysis to convert 300 inches to yards. So this is question 1, and so we have 300 inches, and we'll put a denominator of 1 under here. Now we have to multiply by 1 in some form such that these inches divide out. So there are 12 inches per foot, and that's another way to write 1. This is a unit multiplier. And now we want the feet to divide out, so we'll put feet in the denominator, and there's 3 feet per yard, and now we have the units we want, yards. The feet will divide out, the inches divide out, and let's see. We're going to be left with yards, and 3 goes into 300 100 times, and 4 goes into 12 3 times, and into 125 times. So now we have 25 over 3 yards, which equals 8 1/3 yards. That one's taken care of. Now the next one, 2, we have x squared minus 4x over 5 minus x divided by x squared minus 8x plus 16 over x squared minus 9x plus 20. Well, we're going to factor and we're going to invert and multiply. So factoring the numerator here, we get x times x minus 4, and downstairs we have a 5 minus x times. And we will invert this and factor at the same time. So this factors into x minus 4 times x minus 5. And we'll check that out. 4 times 5 is 20. Negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. When we add up negative 4x and negative 5x, we get a negative 9x, so it works. Now we can factor that numerator, and we'll stick it in the denominator because we are inverting, and we can then change this division to multiplication. So our leading terms are going to be x and x. We're going to have 2 negatives, and the factors of 16 are 4 and 4. Those are the ones we're interested in. And notice, if we multiply negative 4x and negative 4x, add them up, we do get a negative 8x. So we've got a perfect square here. We need an equal sign to connect all this. Now, these x minus 4's divide out. These x minus 4's divide out. And we're left with x times x minus 5 over 5 minus x. Now if we factor a negative out of this factor, we can change each sign within on the terms in the parentheses, and we'll have 5 minus x over 5 minus x. These divide out, and we're left with negative x. And so we've got that one done. Well, our third question asks us to add the quotient 3 over the quantity x minus 7 to the quotient 2x over the product 3 times 7 minus x. So to start with, We almost have identical factors here in terms of x minus 7 and 7 minus x. If we factor a negative 1 out of 7 minus x, that'll change the sign on each of these, and it will also change this sign because a positive times a negative will be negative. So let's do that. We have 3 over x minus 7. Now factoring a negative out of each of these terms, we'll have a negative times a positive, which will make this negative. 3 times, and now we have x minus 7 here, and upstairs we have a 2x. Well, we almost have a common denominator. The only thing missing is a factor of 3 in this denominator. In order to get that, we'll multiply by 1 in the form of 3 over 3. And now we have the common denominator, 3 times the quantity x minus 7, in each of these two denominators. So we can write that as 3 times x minus 7. And upstairs we have 3 times 3 is 9, minus and 2x, and we are done.